In a small dusty village at the edge of the forest lived a man named Kamengere. Every morning before sunrise, he carried an old smoking pot, a rope made from torn sisal, and a basket patched many times by his own hands. He was a honey harvester, one of the poorest men in the village. Kamengere lived in a tiny mud house with his wife and 2 children. Some nights they slept hungry. Children in the village laughed at his worn clothes, and many people believed harvesting wild honey could never change a man's life. But Kamengere had one thing others did not have: determination. Every day he walked deep into dangerous forests, where bees filled the air like dark clouds. He climbed tall trees with bleeding hands while risking deadly falls. Sometimes bees stung his face until he could barely open his eyes. Yet he never gave up. One dry season became the hardest of all. The forest produced very little honey. Buyers stopped coming. Kamengere almost sold his tools to survive. One evening, while sitting outside his house, his son asked him softly, "Father, will we always be poor?" Kamengere looked at the stars and replied, "Poverty is only a chapter, not the whole story." The next morning, instead of quitting, he decided to learn more about beekeeping. He traveled to nearby villages, watching experienced farmers build modern beehives. He saved every coin he earned and slowly started making his own hives from old wood. People mocked him again. "Kamengere thinks he will become rich from bees." They laughed. But months later, something changed. His modern hives began producing cleaner and larger amounts of honey. Travelers passing through the village loved its rich taste. Soon shop owners from the town started buying from him. Kamengere worked day and night, expanding from a few hives to hundreds spread across the hills. Years passed. The same man who once walked barefoot now owned trucks carrying jars of golden honey across the country. He built a brick house for his family, paid school fees for orphan children, and created jobs for young people in the village. One afternoon, Kamengere returned to the same tree he used to climb when he was poor. He touched its rough bark and smiled quietly. He remembered the hunger, the pain, the rejection, the stings, and he realized something important. Success did not come from luck. It came from refusing to stop when life became difficult. From that day, people no longer called him Kamengere the poor honey harvester. They called him Kamengere the man who turned pain into gold.